against all odds. Servant of God, Mother Mary Elizabeth Lange. On July 2nd, 1829, against all odds, 4 women pronounced the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience in a small chapel in the basement of St. Mary's Seminary here in Baltimore. This would be an historic event, not only for the Church of Baltimore, the premier see of the United States, but for the whole universal church. These 4 women of courage would give witness to the universality of the church and the call to live as religious. These women of color would be the foundation of the first religious order of women of African descent in America and in the church. Led by Elizabeth Lange, a Haitian immigrant who would become Mother Mary Elizabeth, they would take on the task of educating Black children in a time where the educating of Blacks was not acceptable by society. The not too subtle criticism and open hostility did not deter her from the goal of providing these children with an education. She opened a school for immigrant Haitian girls in her own home with the money that was left to her by her father. This little school would become St. Francis Academy, which is still in operation today, making it the oldest African American Catholic high school in the United States. Not only educating these children with the basics, but also instructing them in the Catholic faith, and to do so as religious. As stated before, there was much opposition to this venture. Mother Lange had been told that there was a greater need for Black domestics than there was for Black women religious. It is reported that the Archbishop of Baltimore, Whitmore, told Father Joubert, the chaplain and advisor to Mother Lange, "It is not likely, but with reflection, that I approve your project. I knew and saw the finger of God. Let us not oppose his holy will." He felt that the foundation of this religious order of Black sisters was divinely inspired by God. Mother Lange was a woman of strong conviction and even stronger faith. She felt and believed that God would provide. This can be seen in the coat of arms of the Oblate Sisters of Providence. Providence will provide. For 192 years, the Oblate Sisters of Providence have been living proof of the truth of this statement. Her cause for canonization was opened in 1991. Almighty and eternal God, you granted servant of God, Mother Mary Lange, extraordinary trust in your providence. You endowed her with humility, courage, holiness, and an extraordinary sense of service to the poor and the sick. You enabled her to found the Oblate Sisters of Providence to provide educational, social, and spiritual ministry, especially to the African American community. Mother Lange's love for all enabled her to see Christ in each person, and the pain of prejudice and racial hatred never blurred that vision. Mother Mary Lange, pray for us.